Let's start. Just before we do that, I'll explain a little bit about what we are doing, what is the Atera platform, and a few words about us, so everybody in this meeting will have some context, because I'm going then to deep dive into a live demo, show how we implemented Microsoft OpenAI and how we leverage the technology to gain amazing results. So let's start. First, I'll introduce Atera's platform. Atera's platform is actually all-in-one cloud platform to manage IT operations. We support Windows, Linux, Mac. It's everything built on Microsoft Azure infrastructure. And we provide to our customers remote monitoring and management tool, help desk and ticketing, network monitoring, BI and analytics, and we have App Center. So actually everything IT professionals, corporate enterprises, and MSPs need to run their ITs, whether they're running it on local network, in a corporate network, or managing customers remotely. We currently have over 11,000 customers around the globe, serving 105 countries, 3.5 million devices across the world. And actually users are doing over 300 million automations using our system. It means that they took IT operations that usually they will do manually, like fixing problems, patching, doing some manual tasks to fix a problem or maintaining networks, and they are doing it automatically using our system today. And this number is growing from month to month. And we trusted by over 11,000 customers. As I mentioned, we have big names like McDonald's, HP, NBC Universal, etc. So we have an amazing and mature system. So feel free, everyone, if you have IT operation, to give it a try. We have a 30 days trial, free trial. So as I mentioned, we have the remote monitoring part, and this is actually very important to understand the entire system for the demo that I will show you. I will run quickly, but by the end of this presentation, if you have questions, feel free to ask. So we have predictive alerts, auto-healing mechanisms, means if you have some problems, you can attach to it some action to fix problems automatically once they occur. For instance, if you have a high CPU from a specific process, you can create a script to restart it or something like that. We have powerful automation and patching. It means that IT technicians, IT professionals using our system to patch systems and keeping them up to date and secure. Besides that, we are managing also the communication between the technicians and their customers, and you'll see it in the demo in a few seconds. We have a ticketing system with SLAs, automation and tagging, and we also provide customer portal that the customer can open tickets. Actually, they can even click one button in the computer. It will take a screenshot and open a ticket for them. Besides that, we have security tools and network scans. I will run quickly because I want to get to the point. And we offer over our platform App Center, which IT professionals can expand the services that they are giving using security tools, backup, network scan, etc. And we have, of course, mobile with notification about alerts, about ticketing, and even doing remote support through the mobile app. So what actually keeps IT managers up at night? Also very important for the context of the demo. They are managing and evolving security threats, so every day they need to keep their customers secure. Besides that, they are driving the operational efficiencies. And these days with OpenAI capabilities, we see that the whole industry going to much more efficient future. And this one is very important. When you manage IT, you want everything to work smoothly and to be able to produce more. So this is actually one of the major things that we try to achieve using OpenAI. And of course, delivering on-time quality service and reducing the technology debt. So I think we can deep dive into the demo, and I'll switch from the presentation to my computer, although I have it also in video, but just a sec. Great. So let me know that you're seeing my screen. Okay, you see it. Cool. So I'll start with the first thing that this is something that we are currently working on, but I think for this flow, it's very important that I'll show you first. It's called AI Assistant. This is actually the customer portal. When a end user have some issue, he can just create new ticket, open a ticket, and then you communicate with the technician. I'll show you in a sec how it look like. I have in here OneDrive sync issue. I used to have it, and I'll talk to a technician. I have all the conversation here. We added lately the AI assistant area, this one. So basically now, instead of immediately opening a ticket for the technician, I can just talk to an AI assistant, a chatbot, and tell him exactly what is the problem that I'm experiencing right now, and get a response. So let's say I have I can't connect to my Outlook or something like that. I can't connect to my email. And usually users write something that is very vague, and the technician need to answer and ask some more questions. So the AI is actually can also give you more elaborative ticket. It will also ask the right questions, and of course it will also try to solve the problem. And usually a lot of from the cases we saw, it solves the problem and close the ticket. But even if it doesn't close the ticket, the technician will get it with much more information inside the ticket. So let's continue talking to the AI here. I'm sorry to hear. Of course, it's very polite. You're receiving any error message? Yes, something about the password. And it will continue talking to me. You're receiving error message about password. Double click. Try to correct the password, and if not, try to reset it. And I'm getting all the information that I need. And of course, everything is logged into a ticket. So I see here above, email connectivity issue. The assistant also gives this ticket automatic title. And if it's closed my problem and it was helpful, I can close the ticket. And by that, we actually close the ticket without any technician intervention. We call it the autopilot part of our system. And this one is actually quite amazing, as I said. It reduced a lot of the IT problems and reduced a lot of the tickets that are opening to the technician. But also, if it's not closing the ticket completely, the technician will get much more elaborative ticket with a lot of information, and it will be much easier to solve. Let's move to the second part. I'll switch to the technician part in our console. This is the technician part. Here you can see all the tickets that coming from various users in the system. And if you notice when I'm going over the tickets I have the AI in here, and I clicked on the security concern. One of my one of my customers is concerned about leaving their computer open. And they said that they left the computer at the office, and usually they are doing it, they leave the computer open in the office and they went back home, and he's concerned that someone that will see it open, try to access it or do something. So we created this button AI assistant. You will get a summary of the problem. Of course, it can be a lot of back and forth between technicians, or maybe even the AI assistant to the customer. But as a technician or a manager, I can see the AI summary that it generated. We can also generate it with bulleted list or executive report like that. And once I have a summary of the problem, I can generate a reply to answer the customer. But I can also generate a solution. What is the solution for someone that left his computer open after working hours? He suggested to schedule a computer to lock at a specific time every night. Amazing, that's a good solution, and I really liked it. Now, because we are also ticketing system and the remote monitoring, we are actually connected to the devices, and we have an amazing system that manages all the networks and the hardware in the network. We can take it to the next step and just click generate a script out of this suggestion. Okay, and he suggests a solution. The solution was to lock out the computer every night. He also selected a time for me, 10 p.m. I can change that if I want, but I have a code that locks the computer every day and created a task scheduler item. And from here, with one click, I can just save it, call it logout, and create the script. Now it's in my repository, and when I go to the computer or even go back to the ticket, I go to managing this device in the network, run script, look for the logout, the lock and logout here. I can just click run, and it will log off the computer. So it will actually create the scheduler to lock the computer every night. That's easy. I'll stop sharing my screen for a sec. Oh. Great. So actually, as I mentioned, we have two amazing tools that we created using OpenAI. One of them is the autopilot, the first tier support. We actually, before the customer open a ticket and the technician need to answer, we try to give them first tier support, maybe close the ticket, and if not, get much more elaborative ticket. And the second part is the co-pilot part of the system. We are using OpenAI to summarize the ticket, to suggest reply, to suggest a solution, and out of this solution, generate script. And using the RMM technology that we developed, run the script, solve the problems. We can attach it to every time that the same ticket or the same problem occur again, it will automatically run. And I won't need even to do this one small action like clicking this button. So this one is quite amazing. And we talked about efficiency, and look how efficient it can be. You just need to imagine, you just need to take those tools and do amazing stuff. And I think that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free.
Oshri, we do have one question. I'm going to share it here on the screen. Can you please share how you created this tool and architectures of it?
how we created the which tool, which one, and I'm not sure that I'll be able to show code because we did use Microsoft OpenAI for the summarizing and to other stuff, but we did a lot of extra work to make it, amazing as I show it to you, and I'm not sure that we'll be able to share any code in live here.
Ask what data set you use to train the model.
We actually didn't use our data to train the model. We used OpenAI as is. I think the beauty about OpenAI is that they train the models, their default models, with the entire internet. What can us as a small company compared to the entire internet can give this model to fix IT problems? Because every IT person that you have any kind of issue, he goes to the internet, asks the question, and get the answer. But the model is built exactly on that. So we didn't feel that we even need to train it on our data. We'll probably do train it on data to achieve different things, like personalizing the reply. Just the model will be much more. His answers will much look like the answer from the technician if we'll train it on the technician kind of the tone of voice of the technician, but not on the IT problems, because the internet has much more information about problems than we do.
We do have another questions. I can share it on the screen as well. What do you share with ChatGPT, and how do you keep the client data secure and private from further ChatGPT searches?
So first of all, I think that it's a good question, and I think that's the most common one when we show customers the amazing solutions that we provide using OpenAI. And I think this is going to be part of probably Microsoft presentation here, but that's exactly why we chose Microsoft OpenAI and not going with OpenAI, the company, because Microsoft provide a secure private cloud with some snapshot of the model. They are not using our data or everything we send to train the model or such things. So there is a big difference, and most of the users and most of the customers that we are talking not aware of this difference between Microsoft and OpenAI. But in any case, we are not sending all the data. Well, when we click on summarize a ticket, we send exactly what you see in the screen, and that's it. But anyway, it's not going to OpenAI, and the models are not trained on this data. And using Microsoft just closes privacy issues for us.
Thank you, Oshri. There is an additional comment for the previous questions about if you can share how you created this tool and architecture. So he didn't mean the code, but he actually just meant the approach and the architecture of the approach.
So I think a lot of the solutions, and now we are working on also implementing a few more innovative stuff using OpenAI. I think prompt engineering is one of the most important things to know, and this is absolutely one big part of the architecture of the solutions that we are doing. You need to leverage the data that you have in your system. Like we have the tickets, we have the capabilities to run scripts, etc., and just create the right prompt and ask OpenAI to generate something for you based on that. This is how we construct our solutions. For instance, for the ticket summary, we took the conversation. We just design it in a user assistant kind of comments layout, and we send it to the model and ask, what do you think would be the next thing to suggest, or summarize this for us. And it's quite easy, just like that.
Thank you. We have a few more questions. Some can share them here on the screen to make it easier. So does this imply that the AI solutions are generic and not particular to an IT firm or field?
So in general, in OpenAI, yes, you can apply any AI solution that you need. For us, we did construct the prompt to act as an IT technician. So it's expect IT questions, and it's expect to give you IT-like answers.
Okay, we have another question. How did you manage to keep from wrong answers by ChatGPT?
So we actually did implemented some feedback system. We cannot really, be 100% sure that it won't give the right answers, but we did saw that the feedback are quite amazing. Most of the users, I think 90% of the replies are positive, which is amazing. We expect much less. And those that are giving us a bad score, we talk to them, we see what went wrong, and those are edge cases like any other models. We expected that. We actually expected much more bad answers, and the results are amazing.
Thank you, Oshri. Two additional questions. One is, which GPT version are you using?
So we are using both 4 and 3.5 Turbo. And we found that in some cases, the 3.5 give us much better and faster results. And in some cases, we must have 4 because we have very large contact and we need the capabilities, but we are using both. And it's a dynamic decision.
Okay, one last question. What are the types of issues you had when working with the AI? What was your approach to resolving them?
So I think I mentioned the prompt engineering. It's not some buzzword. It's really, really important. When you ask AI a question, one dot in the end can change the answer completely. So working on the prompt, making sure that you are sending the right question, forming it in the way, giving a lot of information to the AI to understand exactly what we want to achieve. As I mentioned, we send him that we are IT technician that gives services to customers, and we expect a polite answer and not so technical because my customer is not technical. We implement everything I said now in the prompt, and I think this part is the most complicated one, to get to the one that work in some, in a lot of cases. It's not an easy one, but when you start with it and you get the feeling and you get to it, it's going very well by the end.
One more question. How you're planning to upgrade this to ChatGPT 4? What is the cost involved with the implementation?
So as I mentioned, we use ChatGPT 4 right now, and the cost is quite surprising. We expected also here. We didn't know how many tokens we will use, and we are sending a lot of conversation words into it, but the cost is really affordable for the amazing results that you get. It's a non-issue right now for us. And of course, by the end of the day, we'll probably model that, in our product. And if we, find the right business model, we just launch it as a beta for our customers. While getting a feedback, getting to work and do everything we expect. But by the end of the day, we'll find the business model and make sure it works for everyone, for us, for the customers.
One more question. Do you use the answers feedback to fine-tune the model snapshot?
Right now, we are not doing it at all.
Okay. And then I think we have one more question. GPT works in a lot of languages. Does your platform as well, or is it just English?
Our platform is also translated to a lot of languages, and yes, GPT works amazing in many different languages.
I think we don't have any more questions, so we will. I want to take a second to thank you, Oshri, for the time and for your presentation and the time to answer the questions. If you still have questions about this session, please feel free to post them. Oshri, if you can, I can help you post the answers in the chat, so we can still answer your questions in the chat. And we are at time for our next session. So thank you, Oshri, for your time. And now we will move to Vladi and Denise for the next session. So